Oh my gosh. Look at this phone. Look at this. I want a new phone, but that is ridiculous. Like, who would buy that? It's like, who would seriously buy that? The LG Wing. Now this is not a phone I would normally buy. I like practical things that I know aren't gonna break, that have lasting stay power. And this is a very strange phone for me. This phone, I put like a super durable case, a screen protector that like I can drop it and no problem. I'm not worried about this phone breaking at all. And that's the kind of phone I've always typically bought. This phone has so many moving parts that I am worried, but I just wanted to try this out. I wanted to have kind of like a gimmick phone. I don't know if that's what you could call this. It's certainly interesting, but it could be considered a gimmick of this like dual screen kind of thing. But the question I would like to answer is it worth it? Should you, the person watching this, buy one of these phones? I don't know. Every person's different, but hopefully at the end of this video, you will know for yourself if this is a phone for you or you're gonna pass and try something a little more practical. I've had it for about 2 weeks now and I've been having a lot of fun with it. So as long as nothing breaks, I'm gonna show off all the features and you'll see what I'm talking about. One of the absolute strangest things about this phone to me is this selfie camera that pops up anytime you want to take a selfie or whatever. Right there, that pops up. It does make a slight noise every single time. So I use Snapchat. I know that kind of dates me, but if you close Snapchat while it's in selfie mode and you accidentally open it or whatever, you're gonna hear every time it goes up and down. Not a huge complaint, but I mean, I guess it saves room and makes the screen a little bigger and all that kind of stuff. If somehow the selfie camera opened in my pocket and it was blocked, I don't really know what would happen, but I assume it would be okay. One of the cool things about this selfie camera is that it's built in. If it's out, if this selfie camera is out and you drop the phone, it automatically goes back into the phone until you press OK. So that's actually pretty cool. They did think of some protections for that. One of the other huge features that was advertised for this phone is the gimbal mode. There's a little joystick here. The grip allows you to hold on better and you can run around and grip the phone and get some very stable videos, I guess. And the joystick will kind of move the camera around manually. Instead of just keeping on talking about this, I'm just going to give you a little demonstration and compare it to the iPhone 11 and LG G7 Thin Q. I think it's kind of indisputable that the LG wing stabilization is superior, and in highlight conditions it really excels. It's the low light conditions that LG just fails. This looks awful in low light. All right, now let's talk photos. Phone cameras have been getting better and better, and the differences, although slight, might make a difference for some people. So see if you can guess which one is which. Ready? All right, so the iPhone 11 is on the left, LG G7 is in the middle, and LG Wing is on the right. Quite slight differences, but it does make a difference. Here's another photo example outside in highlight conditions. See if you can guess which one's which. I didn't actually change the positions of these, but I did slightly pose the Wing a little bit differently. But if you guessed correctly, congratulations! Like the video and subscribe. I'd also like to compare the screens of all three phones. I turned them all up to max brightness, and I just wanted to take a look and see which one is actually the brightest and has the brightest colors. And hopefully this will all show up on the camera okay, and you can get a good idea of what you're gonna get with this phone. Now that they're all playing the same video, you can get an idea that the LG Wing is definitely brighter than the other two. The iPhone 11 does have a very bright screen as well, but something about the LG Wing is just much brighter and the colors pop out more. All right, now let's talk about the second screen, the actual Gimmick. Now, there are some cool things about the second screen that I really like. There's all these like dynamic backgrounds that they included with the phone. I like playing around with those, but there's only, I guess, like 4 or 5. This beach one's definitely my favorite. I also like to have the always on display. That works really well with this phone, especially with the fingerprint reader on the screen. I'll get to that a little bit later. Also, gaming is very interesting on this phone. There aren't too many games that I know of that actually use both screens. This is Asphalt 9, and as far as I know, it's the only one that utilizes it, although I could be wrong on that. And it's kind of sad because the map actually doesn't do anything in this game. One neat thing that they did is you can switch directions of the phone at any time, and it automatically will just change everything for you. So you might be asking, what else can I do with this dual screen setup? One thing that I really like before I get into anything else is if you're just watching a video and you don't want to multitask, they have this grip lock feature, which allows you to hold the phone and it won't activate the touch screen or anything. Without that, it would be pretty annoying to not be able to touch the screen while you're watching a video. One of the downsides of trying to multitask with these dual screens is not all the apps actually have the capabilities needed. Like, for example, I can't go to my home screen when the phone is in this kind of a layout. You have to go back, close the phone, find the app you want to open, and then you can finally switch back to the video and actually start multitasking again. I don't know, maybe it's just kind of a small complaint and something I need to get used to, but it's just something that hasn't existed before, so maybe I just need to get used to it. Once you get multitasking though, there are no complaints. I mean, this is great. I love being able to watch videos and scroll through social media and do all kinds of stuff. One other really cool feature that I noticed is there's this little YouTube button, and if you press it while you're in a game, it actually YouTube searches the name of the game that you're playing. So you can look up guides and like hints and stuff as you're playing the game. So I don't know, that was a pretty cool feature. I just wouldn't have even thought of that if I'm developing this phone. As for performance, I didn't notice a frame rate decrease as I was watching YouTube and playing a game. Overall, I can't complain. I mean, the frame rate that you're looking at right now is as good as my old phone got, and I'm watching media at the same time. Another feature I forgot to mention is this dual camera mode where it uses your selfie and the back camera at the same time. I don't know when I would use this, but it's pretty dang cool anyway. I don't know, I'll try to work it into a video or something. One other thing I noticed about the LG Wing is it is a lot heavier than my old phone and the iPhone. It doesn't bother me, I actually like it. It feels a little heftier, but some people might not like that. It's also a lot larger, which helps with the screen, but I can't put it in any of my shorts pockets without it falling out. If I sit down, it's gonna fall out of my pocket. So that's another thing. It's heavy and big. So if you don't like that, you're not gonna like this phone. One thing that was a little irritating, but you could reverse it, is they were obviously trying to be a lot like iPhone. When I first got the phone, there was no Android buttons at the bottom of the screen. You had to do the swipe. It's exactly like the new iPhones. There's no button. You have to swipe up to get home and then swipe up and hold to switch apps and that kind of thing. Didn't really like that, so I switched it back to the Android buttons. The other thing that I really don't like is there is no headphone jack. Why? Why are they doing this? It irritates me, and not for the reasons you probably think it does. So I use wired headphones quite a bit, especially at work. They're just like in my backpack, so I just take them out and, well, with this phone, I just took them out and plugged them in. Now, this phone will need an attachment, and not even that the attachment bothers me that much. The problem is that this phone, the USB-C port actually started to malfunction a little bit, and that had a headphone port. You didn't need to plug in USB-C to get your headphone jack. So now imagine this phone also needing to use that USB-C port even more. I'm a little worried about the functionality lasting the life of the phone. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on here that could break, but that was the most irritating because I have a car that needs to do Android Auto, and if that disconnects, then like while you're driving, you're just SOL. I mean, like you have to unplug, plug back in, reset up everything. It's really irritating. So that needs to work. Maybe they made it more durable, but these are both LG, so we're gonna find out. I don't know. The other thing that is actually pretty cool, but again, I don't know how practical it is the fingerprint reader. The fingerprint reader is actually on the screen, and you just touch there and it unlocks. Very, very cool feature. The engineers at LG should be very happy with that. The problem is, when I pick up my phone, the natural thing to do is to put my finger here. Yes, that's just a habit that I have, but when you have a phone that swivels, the fingerprint reader actually moves with the screen. So now it's up here. It's just not as natural, and I don't think it works quite as well as the one on the back. When this phone heats up, I was having a hard time unlocking it. I don't know if that's just because of some glitch or if that's really how it's gonna be. The last thing about the fingerprint reader that's not great is if you have a screen protector for this phone. There are so many frustrated people on Amazon reviews of screen protectors where they could not unlock their phone with the fingerprint because of the screen protector. There is a way to increase the sensitivity for a screen protector, but it's not great. I mean, with this one, you're never gonna have any trouble. The case fits around it, but I just decided not to use a screen protector. This screen feels pretty durable, so I think it's gonna be fine, hopefully. Another thing that could break, we'll see. So let's talk about cases. The case on this old LG phone wraps around the edges, so it really stays on. And like, you know, if you drop this, that case is not coming off. With this one, I will say I tried a screen protector, but it fell off within like 20 minutes because it, like I said, it's so big, it falls out of your pocket. I actually sat down, fell out, the screen protector fell off like pretty much immediately, and I got it on there good. It was a sticky one and it was totally fine. Case is the same way, so this doesn't wrap around. When you have a screen that swivels like this, the cases can't fit around because the screen has to be able to swivel around. So what the cases do is they have stickers that stick onto the back. So far so good, but I've only had this phone for about 2 weeks. You know, I had this phone for at least 2 years, and this is never gonna go bad. Are the stickers going to hold up? I don't know, we're gonna find out. And I just wanna be 100% clear, I'm not saying these things are bad or that I regret buying the phone. I'm excited to have this phone. These are things that I worry about, that's all. This is why I get like more practical phones, because these are all the things that I notice, and I'm a little bit nervous that it's not gonna hold up, but maybe it will. I could be wrong. Maybe it's like super, super durable. They did all the testing and it's great, you know, I could be wrong. So overall, I would say I'm excited to have this phone. As long as everything holds up and is durable, I think it's gonna be a fun phone to have. Personally, I multitask a lot when I'm on my phone. I like to watch stuff and browse social media, do all kinds of stuff. Might not be for everyone just because of the weight, the size, maybe people aren't gonna use the swivel at all. If you are a person who isn't gonna use the swivel, who doesn't multitask or anything, and you're gonna use it like this, probably not the phone for you, but I like to play games and watch stuff, you know? That's what I like to do a lot of the time, so I like it. And as you can see, it's very fun to just swivel back and forth. I do it all the time now. But it has to hold up. It has to hold up when you do that. So anyway, thank you for watching, and now I have to do the ceremonial switch because I've been using this as my microphone for quite a while, and now I just realized there are more audio options on this phone than that one. So now I have no idea how this sounds, but hopefully it's better. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. I'll have more content coming in the future, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.